All right, well, we're going to start. It's actually 18:59, but anyway, there's already quite a few of you here. So
Yeah.
I just wanted, first of all, to introduce my guest today. She's a good friend of mine, Sara Davison. Okay, it's easy for me to pronounce because it's obviously a Spanish name, or you can pronounce it with a Spanish accent. But my challenge always is when I'm speaking in English, and I just automatically say Sarah, but it's Sara Davison, and she's a divorce coach. Now I'm going to explain. I'm going to have to. This is going to take me a little bit of time to explain her expertise. Okay. For those of you that don't know me, I do my introduction, normal introduction. I'm Bernardo Moya. I'm the Chief Inspirational Officer of The Best You. And I run these very quick webinars, which are called The Secrets of Their Success. If you're an NLP, you understand that modeling is one of the best ways to learn. And, and we bring all sorts of great experts that are, standing out in this amazing, beautiful industry that we're involved in. And today it's Sara Davison. So she's built an amazing global brand and a business with the most recognized, and she's basically called the divorce coach or the recovery coach. Now she's done TV shows. She's doing her online course. She's holding retreats, and she's actually got one this weekend, and she's done loads of them already. She is featured everywhere. It's boring now because where is she not featured? She's on the Mail, she's in Marie Claire, she's in Time. You're all over the place, and you're going to share some of that with us in a minute. Sarah, how are you? Welcome.
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. I'm really honoured to be invited.
My pleasure. And the qualifications, she's a licensed practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, a master practitioner, hypnosis training with McKenna Breen, and certified professional speaker with the Speakers Academy, and the CDC certified divorce coach as well. So, Sarah, oh my God, you've been busy, eh?
I've been in this industry for a long time, Bernardo. I think it's 23 years now. So
23 years. You started very, very young, the age of 6.
It looks that way. It's deceptive. Yeah, no, I did though. I was straight out of university. I got into personal development, and I've been in the world ever since. So yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm very lucky. That I can still be active in that industry.
So for those of that don't know you, tell us a little bit about how you got into what you do today. Because obviously there was a journey, and you got, as you said, into running events and seminars. But share a little bit about your story and how you got into this.
Well, I first got into it because I attended an Anthony Robbins event, actually, way back when he was doing events for, I think there were about 500 people in the audience in Belgium. So it was a really small event for Robbins. I mean, those events that Unleash the Power Within now have 8,000 to 10,000 people in them. So and that really it took the blinkers off what I thought was possible in life. And within, I think it was about 6-7 months of doing that course, I had set up my own business, and I had bought a flat, and I had like my first car. So it completely changed my world. It showed me that you could have whatever you want to have in your life. You can be whoever you want to be, but you have to, I mean, for me, I went down a sort of a journey because I was like, well, I don't think I'm capable of having my own business. I'd love to have my own business, because at that point I'd worked out I was pretty unemployable because I thought I always knew best, and I didn't really like being told what to do. So it was something that I wanted to do, to have my own business, but I didn't know how. And Robbins talks very much about asking better questions, which is one of the techniques that I still use every day to this point, where, I was like, well, what could I do? How could I set up a business for myself? And I thought, well, what are the things that I love? Well, I love personal development, because I'd done quite a few of the Robbins events. And I love working with people. I love that sort of coaching environment. I picked up some skills from the Robbins events. And so I thought, well, how could I combine that and work with people and help people and make a difference? So I kept asking that question for probably 6 to 7 months, until I came up with an idea to actually fly speakers from the States over to the UK and put on seminars and events. So I did that. And then from doing that, I was very lucky because I met Paul McKenna, who I know is a good friend of yours as well. And I worked with Paul for a little while, and he became a very good friend and a mentor, and inspired me a lot. And I trained with his company and with Bandler, and did my NLP. And after that, I didn't look back. I was coaching, and the business just started from there, really.
So that was the business that you were involved in originally when you were, running fairly big events at that time.
Yeah.
So how did you then get into what you do now? Obviously, I know the story, but
Yeah.
the
Well,
coach.
well, when I was 30, I met the guy that I actually married, and we set up a global business actually when we had 150 staff around the world. And I had a baby, my son, who's now 9, but yeah, so we had a great business. It was a training business. I was coaching everyone and mentoring everyone, and we were still in the personal development space, and I loved it. But then one day my marriage came to a very abrupt end, and I didn't see it coming. And overnight I became a single parent, and my ex moved on very quickly, and started a new family with someone a lot younger than me. And obviously that took, the floor out from underneath me. And I was, I was a wreck. I was absolutely traumatized because I'd lost my business partner, the father to my son, my best friend, I thought, So it really was a wake-up call for me. And I started to think, okay, well, I know because of my coaching that this doesn't have to be forever, but how on earth do I get out of this? So I started looking for help. I looked for help on the internet. I spoke to friends. Paul McKenna was a great help actually at the time. And, I started to realize there were some things that I could do to make it better. So I started to almost put together my own coaching program, if you like, to get me through my divorce, just leaning on the stuff that I'd learned over the years and combining that with my personal journey through a very acrimonious divorce, high courts, family courts, a lot of conflict. Even if you want to be amicable, if both parties aren't prepared to be, then it can be very difficult. So yeah, it was a massive learning curve for me. But what I found was that the information that I put together and that helped me actually could help other people too. And I realized it wasn't really anybody doing that. There was no support for people going through that. And it's such a traumatic experience. It's known as the second most traumatic life experience that we go through after death of a loved one. So it's kind of, beggars belief that there was no real support for it. Things like, how to hand your baby over to somebody for the weekend that you're not getting on with during a divorce proceeding, or who's got a new partner, or, how to help your children cope with that, or how to deal with those negative emotions that are really intense, like anger or betrayal or the fear of loneliness or never being loved again. So, I worked through all that for myself, from ground zero, and rebuilt myself and my confidence and my self-esteem. And then I just started to share that with other people and realized that there was a real need for it, and I could really help people and change their lives around, just as I'd managed to turn mine around. So I kept asking questions: how can I make this into something that I can do full time? And I managed to get a book deal, and I got my book Uncoupling. It went in as a bestseller on Amazon. And once I got that book deal, things started to happen for me. And my clinic, I now have a coaching clinic where people come to me. Some clients I coach in London, some over Skype. I've got clients all over the world now. I've got my online training program, coaching program that you mentioned. I've got my breakup recovery retreats, which are 2 days, really intensive with me in a hotel in East Sussex for 2 days. And I love those because it's one, you get up close and personal with people. You can really help them when they're sat in front of you for 2 days, just immersed in all my techniques. And it's really wonderful to see people come in, obviously at the beginning they're nervous and quite heartbroken, a lot of them, or upset or stuck. And then by the end of just 2 days, the transformation, and they walk away with a plan and an action plan of things to do. And it's magical. I love those events. So I've got one starting on Saturday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I speak at your amazing events, and I write for the media. I speak on radio, TV. This morning I did a couple of months ago. That was fun with Holly and Phil. So yeah, it's great.
Well, you've obviously explained very quickly kind of what you've managed to do over a number of years. It's taken you a long time, and I've known you for a long time, and I know you've worked very hard at it. And I will ask you a few more questions so you can share that. But kind of my question really is I know it varies, and there's all sorts of things you can do, and you pretty much discussed how you help and assist people. But obviously it's different to many people, and they all deal with it in a different kind of way. What are the common things that you tend to provide advice for? Because, and I get, there's a lot, as you said, you know, from the relationships, how do you deal with your partner, the lawyers, you know, you cover so many different kinds of aspects. What are the kind of the common things that you help people to, you know, to move on in life?
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about what I do is that no one person is the same. You know, I mean, this week alone, I've seen 3 women in my clinic whose partners have left them. One was, you know, absolutely devastated and crying a lot, not able to really get out of her juicy tracksuit all day long. Another was very, very angry and stalking her partner a lot, so hanging around outside his new apartment. And then the other one was just relieved, you know, that he'd gone because she wasn't very happy, but didn't know what to do, you know. So even though you get people going through what you think are pretty similar situations, everyone reacts differently. So, you know, I tailor everything to the individual, but I'll see men and women. I mean, people are quite often surprised, but 40% of my clients are male. And I think that's because it's coaching, not therapy. And the difference is it's very directive. You know, I'll give you a plan of things to go away and do. We'll brainstorm ideas, we'll brainstorm options. You'll get specific techniques and strategies. So people will come to me saying, should I stay? Should I go? I'm not happy. Am I in an abusive relationship? I deal a lot with people coming out, especially emotionally abusive relationships. Struggling to deal with conflict, empowering the kids to sort of flip it into a positive experience. And I know that's quite controversial, but I strongly believe that actually divorce doesn't have to damage children. And I have a whole program around how you can do that. And I work with the adults to empower their kids so that, you know, I enable them with the toolkit rather than them becoming dependent on me. And then again, it's things like, you know, once you've been codependent in a relationship for such a long time, it's about rebuilding, you know, your own sense of identity, you know, and self-reliance and, you know, your ability to go off and do things that you used to rely on your partner to do. So there's a lot of self-esteem work, confidence work, and then, you know, thinking about the lessons that you've learned. That's really important. You know, if you keep making the same mistakes or there's some sort of glaringly obvious pattern that you keep repeating that's not working for you, then we look at that so that you don't make the same mistake or attract a similar trait in your next partner. I get a lot of clients who sort of come out of a relationship so desperately want to be loved and not be lonely that, you know, the first partner that comes along has got a pulse, who shows them some interest, they'll sort of latch onto. But that is a recipe for getting hurt again. So we try and stop that, you know, build up boundaries and look at the lessons learned and what they actually want, and almost like you design an ideal partner for them or with them. And then we create sort of a compelling future. So we get them excited about the future rather than stuck in where they are, you know, little things it could be, or it could be big things. You had a client recently who wanted to climb Everest, another client that wanted to travel, another client that wanted to wear pink nail polish because her husband would never let her. So it's about setting your life up to win and it's getting to rediscover yourself and then creating a future that's simple and easy to move towards, so easy steps that isn't overwhelming, but you're excited to get out of bed in the morning rather than focusing on all the negativity that surrounds a breakup, you know, whether it's a divorce or just, you know, your first heartbreak, you know, the emotions are still quite often the same. So yeah, it's very varied. I mean, I had a 23-year-old pop star on one of my last retreats and a 74-year-old man who just retired from his own business. So, you know, it's sort of all sorts, same-sex marriages, you know, first loves, been together 35 years. You know, some people actually come along, they've been separated or divorced for 10, 15 years and just stuck, and their partners have moved on and they're, you know, still feeling heartbroken or just lost their mojo. So yeah, it's a whole range of different people, which is why I love what I do. It's really different and varied.
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine, as you said, you've covered quite a few different ways, or you know, that people are unfortunately going through divorce. I think I obviously kind of with NLP and you use the word focus a couple of times is obviously what you focus on expands, isn't it? And
yeah.
I think that's part of the challenge, is that I think a lot of people you know, struggle to change that internal dialogue that they have going on, repeating the same old bad things,
yeah,
and focusing on what you don't want. And a lot of the times it's really is that, isn't it? It's just really focusing on what you want and the things that you probably wanted to do all your life that you haven't done, and that now you've got kind of carte blanche to do. And I think that's kind of one of the I suppose one of the easiest things to teach people, but unfortunately a lot of times they don't really necessarily implement them, do they?
No, and sometimes, you know, it's almost like they have to physically grab their head and wrench it to the future because it keeps swinging back automatically to the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why coming, you know, if you've got 2 days of me and I'm literally there saying focus, refocus, and, you know, using all my incantations, and I have all these little signs, if you can read that. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. You know, I have a whole resource table of things that, you know, will refocus your mind that you can use around your house. You know, things that you can do that will interrupt those negative patterns, if you like, as we say in NLP, and refocus you on where you want to go. Because it takes a bit of practice. You know, it takes just a couple of times of interrupting when you go into those old patterns to retrain your brain. But that's the thing, you can retrain your brain. You know, we own the remote control to our minds. You know, and a lot of people think we don't, and we react to things because, well, he said this or she did this, so therefore I am upset, I am angry. But what I share on the retreats is that, you know, and when I coach, is that actually, no, you need to take your control back and you decide how you react. You know, you decide what you're going to do next. And it's all about, you know, we set up a dashboard, like my son has a dashboard and I have a dashboard, and my dashboard looks like, you know, an Audi TT dashboard, as my son's looks like a rocket ship. You know, he's got like flashing lights and buttons and levers and dials. But actually, each one of these dials relates to something in your brain. So maybe it's anger, and you've got a dial just to shift it down if that's an emotion you go to a lot. Or maybe it's, you know, fear of being alone, or, you know, or maybe you need more energy, or whatever it is. And we all have different dials set up to, you know, everyone's different. So everyone creates their own dashboard in my retreats. And they're all different, but it just gives you that actual physical control to sort of dial down, say, anger to maybe mild annoyance, which, you know, hasn't got rid of it completely, because we've got to be realistic. If someone's hurt you, we're all human, it's going to hurt. But if you can dial it down, then you'll be able to cope with it better. You'll still be able to go to work. You'll be able to stop crying all the time. You'll be able to not snap at people. Maybe you'll be a better parent because you're in control of those emotions. So I show you how to do that. You know, I give you the controls so that you can take control of your life again and not be in reaction, which is often where the overwhelm and the panic and the fear comes from.
Yeah, great advice. And I know you do a great job. You've been doing it for a long time. So I wanted to now explore a little bit about, and we'll talk about at the end kind of how people can find you. So now I'm interested in talking a little bit more, Sara, about kind of you building your career. And I've seen it over the years. I've known your training. I remember when you started and you just launched your webpage, and lucky enough to be around to see that all happening. And then, you know, working in looking at how you can create these revenue streams, how you can build your brand, and how you got in the media. There's a lot of work goes into this. And I know that. But a lot of people that want to come into, maybe some of the people that are watching here now are already, you know, coaches, trainers, therapists, and others maybe are thinking about changing their careers to do something that has a little bit more meaning, like, you know, what we do.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of time, doesn't it? It takes a lot of work to build a brand. And one of the things I've always said about you is that anything and everything that you've done looks slick, professional, and you've done your work, you've done your research. So it's not easy, is it? It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. And I think that's why you've got to do something that you're really passionate about, because it becomes more of a lifestyle, really, you know, and you've really got to start from the bottom up. There's no cheat sheet. You know, I mean, I often get people come to me and say, Sara, will you spend, you know, an hour with me and help me? And they say, you know, can you give me this contact and this contact? I'm like, yeah, but I can, but that's not going to help you. You've got to start from the bottom up. You've got to start writing those blogs. You've got to start, you know, doing the video blogs. You've got to, you know, write for the newspaper, the local newspaper, or, you know, sort of the magazines that will take the content. You know, there's definitely online, especially online, there's loads and loads of media and press that want content. You know, in this day and age, there's a lot. So you have to go out and find it, and then you have to pitch yourself. You know, I would say create your own brand. It has to be unique. You know, there's no point copying somebody else. You know, model someone else, by all means, find the best bits that work. But, you know, you all have your own USP, and I think it's okay to embrace that and use that. You know, I mean, there are a few other people just doing things like me, but no one does what I do the way I do it. And that's my personality, that's my experience in life. And that's everything I've been through to date that makes me who I am. So that's okay. You're all okay as you are. It's just finding that USP and then creating that brand. And then what do you want that brand to be? You know, do you want it to be corporate? Do you want it to be a more, consumer-led brand? You know, who are you looking to attract? Well, who are your ideal clients? You know, and also, you know, you've got to make sure it makes money for you, because ultimately, you know, you've got bills to pay. So where is that money? Where are those revenue streams? You know, don't say I'm just doing women only, because that cuts off 50% of your market, for example. So, you know, and then online is huge. You know, whatever you do in a live event, you know, should be selling on your website, because there's people in Australia, and I have people in Pakistan and Turkey and Canada, you know, places you'd never expect, who are downloading my products because it's relevant to them and it's available. So, you know, you've got to think big, but the work, you have to put the work in. You know, you've got to design the course, you've got to put the money behind it to record something. If you've got a brand that is, you know, my brand's sort of, I like to maintain the same quality throughout everything I do. So that means, you know, I have to polish it up and give it to a designer sometimes just to finesse it. But you've got to maintain that thread, so people see something and go, oh, that's Sara. You know, so everything you do is on brand, and then you can start to get traction, because people will recognize what you're doing. They'll recognize that brand, the colors, the style, you know, the way you record things, the way you talk, and they'll go, oh yeah, and then they start to relate. And I think that's how you build a following. And social media is really important these days, you know, sort of blogging, photos, you know, motivational quotes. You know, I'm always, like today, I think I posted 6 pictures on Instagram. You know, that's a busy day for me. I don't usually do that many, but you know, that's how you get more followers. That's how you interact. You know, videos are great, even if it's a 10-minute, 20-minute commentary on something, your opinion, something funny. Yeah, and mix it up. You know, it can't all be just quotes or just photos. It's got to be something that means something to your audience. They can get to know a bit of you and your personality, but also get value from it. You know, you want to be helping people and giving them useful information. So yeah, there's a lot, but it's, you know, it's hard work, it's constant. You know, I mean, if I'm, you know, waiting to get my nails done, I'll be posting something, or I'll be replying to an email, or, you know, I never switch off, because I love what I do. And that's why I speak to clients at evenings, weekends. I've got a client later tonight, Skype call, because, you know, sometimes things go wrong after hours. It's not 9 to 5. And if you're passionate about what you do, then that's something that I like to offer, because I can and I enjoy it. And if I can help someone, then that you know, makes my day. So it's about thinking outside the box and doing, excuse me, doing what your market needs you to do, being there for them, you know, and being real. That's the other thing. And, you know, especially in this industry, Bernardo, as you know, I think it's really important to walk your talk. You know, you've got to be genuine, you've got to be the real deal. You know, it's no point saying something you don't do yourself. So, you know, sometimes I don't feel like going for a run in the morning, but, you know, healthy body, healthy mind, you make better decisions. So quite often I'll post a picture of me in the gym or me running, because just to show that I do this, guys. This is part of my life, and this is why I can say it to you, because I know it works, because it works for me and it works for other clients. So yeah, I think you just got to keep it real and just do your best, you know, and, you know, just be happy to help. If someone wants your help, just be happy to help.
Well, as an outsider, as I said, someone that, you know, seen you speak at the event, you know, you're very professional. You put, as you said, you put the hours in, you do the tweets, you do the Instagrams, you know, you record the stuff, you put it online. And then, yes, you know, you're always very current. You work hard at it. I remember how you were in the breakfast show. It was all about what's her name? Dr. Foster, was it?
Dr. Foster, yeah. Dr. Foster.
I think quite rightly, you know, you wrote an article about it, which was really relevant. You know, there was a second piece that came out, and you literally sent something out, and the press grabbed it. Yeah. Instantly. Where was it? Was it the Mail Online? Or was it the? It
was the Mail. It was the Mail in the paper and online, and it was 6 different radio shows in one day.
And 6 different radio shows, and the next day you get a call for the morning show and the breakfast.
Yeah. So, and then actually, that's how the TV show came around, because they saw me in the press and they went, "Oh, that's an interesting idea. Heartbreak Hotel. What's that about?" And then, you know, I got interviewed by different production companies, and then one to get further, and we filmed a pilot for an Irish channel. And And then, you know, we're waiting to see if we get a series. And I mean, you know, things happen, but you know, sometimes I know it's tough. You put a lot of work in and sometimes it doesn't always show up straight away. And I think that's the thing, you know, I mean, you might have like I had something in Grazia last week, but I had something in the Daily Telegraph 2 years ago from a journalist that came on one of my first retreats. And I had someone sign up yesterday from the Daily Telegraph, not the Grazia that was out last week, but from the Daily Telegraph 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, she just said, oh, I've seen it and I was thinking about it. And then something happened in my life. I just thought, now's the time. So, you know, it doesn't always translate immediately. And, you know, you've got to keep the faith.
You got to put the time in. You definitely got to put the time in. So Sarah, you've been involved in the Expo for, well, since it started. So this is our third year here in London, and you're coming to LA as well with us. So
very excited about that one too.
Yeah, they're very excited. I'm very, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm very excited about London, but very, very excited about the one in Long Beach.
You've done an amazing job. But I mean, every day when I see who else is speaking, I'm literally like whooping around my kitchen going, oh my goodness, I'm going to meet all these people. It's so insanely awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. So why does, you know, why does something like the Expo work? I mean, you know, I know you obviously been very complimentary and we're friends, but you've been there and as someone that, you know, you're building your business, you're engaging with people. Why is it important to be in a place like that, live, engaged, meeting people?
Oh, it's absolutely vital. You know, I mean, you know, you're going to get the very best people speaking here who, you know, you're going to hear the latest information that they're sharing. You're going to get to connect and speak to them and ask them questions. You know, it's the place to go. If you want to know anything about personal development or self-help, you've got to surround yourself, immerse yourself. You know, I mean, that's what I did. Went back in my early 20s. You know, I was immersing myself in, you know, every single personal development event that I could get to, I went to. You know, I went as crew, I volunteered, I would help out on exhibitions, I would, you know, I carried Paul's bags around at his hypnotic show just to spend time to go and pick his brains on stuff, you know. I mean, I basically, like, you know, threw myself into that industry because, you know, you can pick up so much from these people just by watching and listening. You know, if you want to train in that industry, then it's vital. You know, if you've got a business in that industry, then again, it's a massive platform. You know, it's the only personal development show in the UK, and it's done so well, so professionally. You know, you get to speak, you get to mix with these top people, then you've got the awards and everything. I mean, it's a very slick event. It's very professional, and you meet amazing people. A lot of the people I'm working with this year who are helping with my online products and things like that are people that I met at the Expo last year.
I say that all the time, that I think a lot of people really, really, really underestimate the connections that you make professionally to work with other professionals that are there. And quite rightly, you've actually worked with some of the people, or some Brian and Janice, who actually met at the Expo, and then now I'm working with them as well. They were my customers, but I'm working with them as well. So
I mean, I think that's one of the things. I mean, you know, being there for me, I'll get clients, I'll get people coming on my retreats. It's great PR because you're amazing at social media and you're always promoting it. So, you know, you're incredible at that, Bernardo. So, you know, it's great to be part of something, but also it's great to spend time with like-minded people. You know, I mean, Jason Bale's a great friend of mine for 20 years. You know, you'll be there, Paul will be there. You know, there's so many fantastic people going to be there that, you know, it's just great fun, if nothing else, you know.
It is great fun. I wish I could actually attend myself. I will be attending, but, you know, I'll be a little bit busy. I know, you know, the first year I didn't sleep for 4 months. But I was talking to the team. You know, it takes like a year to make this event happen, and it happens at the end. But I've realized now for definitely the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I'm doing, you know, 15, 16 hours, probably 6-7 days a week. You know, I'm taking a couple of hours off, and I'm going to have to continue because, you know, there's no way you can't take. Well, you know, there's just so much. Because then, apart from that, I was saying to my team, I said, well, let's remember that we're also an exhibitor. You know, I'm also speaking, and I would like all my because I've got NLP Life Training stand, I've got a Best You stand, the license stand, the e-learning. You know, we've got all these different things going on, and I thought, well, we need to make sure that we take them. And that's what happens. So we've got to look at that as well, the logistics.
You're the master of dreaming, not big, but just like gigantic. Like, you know, if anyone thinks big, they, you know, nothing compared to the dreams and the plans and the things that you actually make come true as well. I mean, yeah, I remember sitting with you one day and you're like, yeah, maybe we should go to America with this. I'll be like, oh, that would be awesome. And then literally 2 months later, it's like, you come in? I'm like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So, you know, you are incredible at that. You really are.
Thank you. Well, I wish, yeah, listen, I'm delighted. I love what I do. It's a lot of work. It's very stressful. I mean, what I was saying as well is that what I have noticed, and I shared this with, I think, all the guests I've had, is that the welcome that we've had in the US and the response that we're getting is phenomenal. I mean, you know, yeah. I have the most amazing lineup of speakers.
I know.
I mean, all of them are literally there because they love the message. They love what I'm doing. I mean, I've got Mastin Kip, Dean Graziosi. We've got...
I love Dean. He's amazing.
Dave Asprey. I mean, the guy is a legend. I mean, you know...
I know.
He's bringing Bulletproof. They're doing labs, Bulletproof.
Oh, my gosh.
We've got Mary Diamonds. We have Ismael Cala, who's the Spanish version of Tony Robbins.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got 3 million Twitter followers.
Gosh, it's incredible.
2 million Facebook followers, 1.4 million on Instagram. So we have some amazing.
Yeah.
And everyone gets what we're doing. Everyone loves what we're doing. So, but they get it. I'm just saying they are at a different level.
Yeah.
They understand what we're doing. They're very professional. They make decisions very quickly, and then they send you the most professional videos, you know, they do. It's like a different
you know, and it's about being around, you know, I've always thought in business, you've got to be around people that are doing better than you, doing bigger than you, because that's how you learn. You know, I mean, all my mentors, like whether it was Paul McKenna or the Barefoot Doctor, or, you know, they're all being, you know, doing these. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. How do you do that? Even you know, I learned about online products and things by watching what you do and dreaming bigger. And every time we get together, we just talk about work for like insane amount of hours and what we can do and how we can grow our businesses. You know, they're the kind of conversations that you get with people who are pushing the envelope and doing things and, you know, trying to pioneer a new path. I think that's what, especially the LA show, I think that's what I'm super excited about. I can't wait.
So what are you going to be sharing? Because I remember kind of the format you did at the first expo. So what's your plan? I know you're talking and you're going to have a stand. What's your target? What are you planning on doing there?
Well, I want to help people as well. So I'm going to be offering like free coaching on the stand. So, you know, short sessions, you know, not big sessions, but, you know, you can come and meet me. You can talk to me. If you've got something specific, the more specific, the more likely I can help you in a short space of time. So yeah, I'll be doing that for free for people on my stand. I'm going to be talking about how you can not just survive a breakup, but how you can thrive afterwards. I think that's important. It's not just about getting through, you know, time's a nice, you know, good healer, but there's things you can do to speed it up and actually make yourself feel better, you know, and flip something that's very negative and traumatic into a positive experience that can, you know, you can be even happier post breakup, and you can inspire your kids with that message as well. So we're talking a bit about that. Also going to be touching on, you know, how to build your self-reliance again. And even if you just lost your mojo in life, you know, maybe you haven't gone through any specific breakup, but you know, you've got off track, you know, how do you grab back your control and that control of your brain and start making a difference, because it's never too late. So I'm going to be sharing all that and lots more. We'll be talking about my retreats and yeah, just being there, you know, people can come and stop off and speak to me and have a chat. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Well, I know it's going to be amazing. I remember how popular your stand was. Literally, I don't think you had a chance to speak to anyone. You were just like literally sitting down with clients for 2 days.
I know, that was, yeah. But we've got the gala dinner, so I hopefully be able to get to speak to everyone at that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Very, very exciting. Well, you know, but for those of you that don't know, we've got the gala dinner. And this year it's in the V&A. It's a beautiful room, the Michelangelo room. And last year was amazing. I thought it was
fantastic. Awesome. Great fun.
Really, really excited about that. That's a great, it's not only a lovely evening, but it's also an amazing opportunity to network with, you know, with some great people. So with your permission, everyone, I'm going to share the screen very quickly. And I'm going to literally, is that it? Okay, here we are. So what I wanted to do was simply, Sarah, how do we find you?
Yeah, well, my website's saradavison.com.
saradavison.com.
That's it. And yeah, you can contact me on there, or just email me, sarah@saradavison.com.
Okay, well, this is loading. Here it is.
Yeah. And on my homepage, there's a free download there. So if you are going through a breakup, it's just like an ebook on how to get through the initial stages. So if you're interested in that, then do click on that. It's totally free. And also there's a free, are you in an abusive relationship? There's a free video course there as well if you wanted that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got loads of videos here, the vlog. Yes, you're nominated to 3 awards.
Yay.
You're nominated to 3 awards.
3, I can't believe it. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, listen, you're doing a lot of things. So
yeah, no, I'm really excited. So yeah, and
amazing.
until I do post a lot of free information every day on my Facebook, Sara Davison Divorce Coaching, on my Instagram, and on my Twitter, SD Divorce Coach. So if you do just
You've
want
got here all your products as well.
Yeah, my products.
It's a great looking page, very easy to navigate, and obviously you've got so many great things now available for everyone. For everyone, for everyone. Thank you so much. And then for those of you that want to come along and check us out, and you still haven't heard about the expo because you've probably been in a cave somewhere and you've just come out and you think, oh my God, what is this expo? I've never heard of this thing. Well, here it is. It's thebestyourexpo.com. And yes, that's the one in London, 16th, 17th of February. And that's the one in Long Beach, California, baby. So whichever one you want to go to, we're going to be there in both of them. And basically, that's it. It's if you're so lucky to be on some of the ongoing mailing lists this year, well, you might still get a free ticket. If not, you know what? We're not breaking the bank. It's only 10 or 15 pounds. We have some amazing partners this year. We're delighted and I'm very excited. I mean, we've got Psychologies magazine, we've got Holistic, we've got UK Health Radio, Balance magazine, we've got Top Sante, Well To Do. So we've got some amazing partners, people that obviously get what we do: Lululemon, Bulletproof, and then obviously Rockstar and so on. So we've got some fantastic partners. The actual schedule is here now live. So there's loads of exciting things. So literally that's it. Just go. Every single seminar room is here. You can see all the different activities we've got and who's speaking at what time. So that's it. That's it. So all the rooms are literally themed. We've got the times. We've got an app as we did last year, which we highly recommend to do. The Inspiration Zone, Phobia Cures, all sorts of great things. And let's just see, Sarah, so we can have a look and see what, that's the lineup of speakers we have. And where are you? I've got to say, we've got so many women this year.
It's great.
So many women.
Year of the women anyway, so.
Well, absolutely. Listen, hey, as far as I'm concerned, you girls can take over the world because, we need more women in charge.
There I am.
There you are. And that's it. Your talk is on the 16th of February at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it's on a Friday.
On a Friday, that's it. And once you've downloaded the app and you've got your ticket, you can literally just set a reminder to see her talk and pop into the stand. So that's it. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to thank you all. I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
It was a great pleasure as always. And I'll share this video with you so you can put it out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for watching and hope to see you soon. Take care. All the best.
Bye.
Bye.